So today I decided to talk a little about this game I love. Because honestly, I don't see enough reviews of it on YouTube or anywhere else. But nevertheless, here it is. Alice, Madness Returns. It's sort of I want to say, spiritual sequel to the classic story Alice in Wonderland. Uh, in the story, and I played the game all the way through, so it's just that great. In the story, it takes place a little shortly after the events of my after Alice in Wonderland. But what happens is Alice survives a house fire, one which kills the rest of her family and scars her mentally. There's this certain doctor who's trying to blame it on her and telling her to forget about it. Well, turns out uh, over the course of the game, you play through Wonderland. You play it through different stages in Wonderland, different maps. But toward the end, you start to see the puzzle. The puzzle as far as the mysterious death, as to what happened. Was it really Alice's fault? And I'm not going to give away the ultimate plot twist here, but let's see if I can see a little hint on the. Okay. So you see Alice here, who now has black hair as opposed to the American blonde adaptation. But yes, I know. It looks like a creepy game, and it sort of is. Especially at first, like in the first map, it's just where you're in this like big steel industry area, and you gotta go around cutting people. So it really kind of draws you in, so to speak. Really draws you into the story very quickly and quite abruptly, which is the same word, really. To the point where it scares you a little bit. It does. Now, uh, for those of you who are fans of Alice in Wonderland, and you don't really like, too much bloody gore stuff, obviously don't play it. It's rated M for mature for a reason. There's blood and gore, sexual themes, strong language and violence. I have to do this because, well, for one, I used to work at a GameStop years ago. It wasn't for very long. It was only for a couple of months. But some things you just don't forget. And this game was actually released last year, so uh, you can expect the graphics are going to be pretty good, actually. Um, Couple of things. This game has a lot of elements from other games that you may be familiar with. Like if you like Zelda games, you'll definitely like this one because as you see, walk around with a knife, slashing folks. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that you're going on this epic quest through these weird lands, fighting monsters and whatnot. So it's a pretty good game. I mean, good. No, it's a great game. I give it a 9 out of 10. I honestly do. I mean, this game doesn't get enough coverage, in my opinion. It really doesn't. It's by EA Games. It's not only for Xbox, so apparently you can get it for PlayStation 3 as well. But it really doesn't get enough. It's highly underrated. Like another game that I'm going to review eventually, which we'll also talk about my hat later on in this video. But uh, this game, it's truly breathtaking. It has Mario elements because you have to jump from here and there a lot. Zelda reference because I just said so. Would I say a Metroid reference? I don't know. Maybe because you play as a girl, play as a woman who has to go through a lot of hardships. Let's see, Bayonetta. It's a lot like Bayonetta too, because see, with Bayonetta you can sort of dodge and move um, out of the way of your enemies with proper timing. Not like in Zelda where you might be able to skip cross, strafe. It's cool, but you know it's not quite as I want to say dynamic as Alice in Wonderland. You actually literally teleport. Like when they're about to attack you, just hit the button right and you teleport and they can't touch you. But and you'll be using that a lot in this game. But uh, music, superb. Graphics, already said, awesome. A lot of blood and gore though, so be careful about that. And of course, there's just simply the personality of Alice. I mean, she goes through all these crazy things. I mean, she fights these monsters, and these are all just in Wonderland. These are all just in her head. and she just somehow she just keeps her cool throughout the whole game. I mean, until of course the end where she finds out who really did it, and you know, well, she takes care of this certain someone. Let's put it that way. But it kind of leaves a cliffhanger at the end of the game too, because you don't really know, if there's going to be a sequel or if this is truly the end of our little Alice. But oh, I was just looking at his T-shirts here, but I already went to the site and all the shirts are sold out. Like, I mean, this game is so great that not only am I letting it, not only am I going to make it my first game review, but I was actually looking for some T-shirts to which to walk around wearing, this advertising. It's made by American McGee. Great game, truly amazing. Now, for those of you who are probably wondering about my hat, it's just a little hat I like to wear. I don't wear it outside, obviously. Wearing this here in Korea or anywhere really is asking for trouble outside of China. But yes, this is a Chinese hat, a Chinese Mao hat. I've always wanted a hat like this, and I was able to get it from a little website called Asian Ideas. They specify mostly in Chinese stuff, fans and trinkets and whatnot, but they got a lot of Japanese things as well. As far as Chinese, I got these shoes, right? Yeah. Ooh. These shoes. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen them a lot if you looking to watch kung fu movies or whatever. It's your typical shoes, Chinese shoes right here, but they have no arch support. So you really shouldn't wear shoes like this unless you're just gonna train at home or maybe run around the block. But shoes like this you shouldn't really wear too much. It'll really mess up your spine and your arch if you have one in your foot or in your feet rather. But yeah, a couple other things. Lately, I've just been, taking it easy, doing these college courses. A lot of you, I may have mentioned this in another video, but a lot of you have been noticing this My Little Ponies fad coming back. For those of you who are annoyed by it, don't be, because I found the perfect solution. Instead of, worried about this, do what I've been doing lately. Stock up on Dragon Ball Z movies. I tell you, in the past week, I've watched Lord Slug, Revenge of Cooler, Broly 1 and 2. I got 3. Fixing to watch Wrath of the Dragon later on. I got all sorts of DBZ movies, and I think since I may review those as well, but my movie reviews really don't get as many looks as my anime reviews. So I don't know. Maybe that's just one thing or another. But today, no specific shirt today. Just plain white. Staying at home today. I might go out walking later. I don't know. Keep my metabolism up. Fail. So yeah, that's basically my game review. First game review. Hopefully you liked it. When I get paid, maybe I'll order a Super Game Boy so I can play it on the Super Famicom. The Pokemon Green that I got. Green, not leaf green. Green. So yeah, be safe and I don't know. Chi Lai. It's Chinese. Mandarin Chinese.